everyone, it's Angie. How are you all doing today? I am doing fantastic. It is time again for Yarn Yack Tuesday. Woohoo! I'm loving this. I'm loving this new feature on the channel, and I hope that you're enjoying it too. So, I got a lot going on this week. I mean, I always have a lot going on, but I got a lot going on this week. I'm a little bit... Just wait until next week. That's all I'm going to say. Next week is going to be, I expect it's going to be phenomenal. And I'll tell you why, because today is Tuesday as I'm recording this. On Thursday, me and my friend Mindy are going to go down to a very large local yarn shop in Livonia, which is about an hour and a half for me, an hour for her, and we're going to do some damage. I'm going to do some damage. I'm ready. They sell Noro yarn. I've been dying to get my hands on some Noro for a sweater I want to make for myself, so I'm really excited about that. So can't wait to see what I get next week. Okay, so yes, I did make this sweater that I'm wearing. It is just a cardigan without buttons or anything. It's fairly open in the front. I kind of tend to wear it more like a jacket than a sweater, but I love it. I made this with Lion brand Woolies Thick and Quick, which is a super bulky 6 in the color Coney Island. Maybe not Coney Island. I might be lying about that. And I don't have the skein anymore. But you can see it's just beautiful natural colors. I love it. This is like one of my favorite sweaters. All right, where to start? I suppose we can start with acquisitions, things that I've gotten this week. We might as well start with this box because it's, I don't know, it's not yarn, but it's yarn related. So I was on Lion Brand's website and, oh no, oh heavens, don't drop that. Oh goodness. I dropped a very, very special item. I'm going to show you in a second. It rolled right off the table. It's another thing that I'm really excited that I got, and I feel spoiled as heck that I got it. All right. I ordered 5 of these because they were cheap and, ooh, they're nice. Ooh, these are nicer than I thought they were going to be. And they're big, but they're not too big. So I got 5 of these Lion brand shopping bags. Aren't these cool? I just love the design on them. I thought that these would be great for project bags because I keep so many projects going at the same time, and I've just got a mess of yarn piled around my chair over there. So I thought it would be nice if I could, you know, put my yarn from one project into one of these. And the inside is really nice. It's like it's softish. I mean, it's just like a vinyl bag, but it's really cute. So I got 5 of those. I think they were like $3.99 on their website. Cute. So yarn related. Then I also got, this is also not yarn, but yarn related. Super excited about this. I was a little hesitant to make the investment. I do get hanks of yarn from time to time. And up until now, I have just been dealing with it. I've been either grabbing a friend and having them help me ball it by hand, or I have been just working from the hank, like very patiently taking the yarn, you know, unwinding the yarn off, you know, round by round. And that was just very time consuming and labor intensive and irritating, to be frank. So I decided I wanted to get a yarn swift and a ball winder. So I did. And it was an investment that I didn't really want to have to make, but I'm glad that I made it. And I found someone to do it for me. When I got this, I was setting it up just to try it out in the kitchen, and Nate came out and he's like, "What the heck is that?" And I told him, and I showed him what it did, and he's like, "I'll do this for you, Mom. I'll do all of them." So he went ahead and balled up every single hank that I had laying around because he was having so much fun with it. So I did end up getting, this is a Stanwood brand, Stanwood Needlecraft, and it is a tabletop Amish style yarn swift. And I mean, y'all know what a yarn swift is. It's nothing fancy, but this is really nice hardwood. It was probably mid-range. It wasn't the most expensive. You can spend a mint on these. It wasn't the most expensive, but it wasn't the cheapest either. But it's a really nice hardwood. And the yarn seems to glide really nicely, and it seems to spin really nicely. And it does have 6 different holes that are marcated with the measurements. So I don't know, that doesn't mean anything to me, but it might be helpful to someone. So I got that, and then I also got a ball winder. And this is just, again, not the cheapest, but not the most expensive by any means. It was on the cheaper end. The brand is Craft Destiny. And it's just a tabletop ball winder, but it is nice and heavy duty. I was impressed with the craftsmanship of it. It has the little doohickey that goes in there. And then you just clamp it to your tabletop, and voila! You wind some yarn, baby. Wind some yarn. Oh yeah. And it works really nice, and it made a nice, it balled really nicely. I was happy with it. So I got those 2 things. And like I said, I much rather would have preferred to spend that money on yarn. But I think in the long run, I'm going to be happy that I have this. So that was my other yarn-related purchase. The other non-yarn but yarn-related purchase that I made is I did pick up a pack of Susan Bates hooks. And I just got the variety pack. Now, the thing I noticed about these, and if you're an experienced crocheter, you know all about it, so I'm not going to get real deep into it. This came in a set of, I think, 6 or 7. Sizes ranging from, I think, 3.5 to 8. No, it didn't go as high as 8. 7, maybe? I'm not sure. You can see behind me, it's a really rainy, wet day here in Michigan. But you don't have to shovel rain, so I'm going to go ahead and let it rain all it wants to today. But these are a little bit different than what I'm used to using. These, see how wide the throat part is on this? This is called an inline. I'm used to the ones that get narrower, the boy type hooks. And you know, the thing I noticed with this one, I am one who likes a thumb rest. I really like having the indentation right there because I like to have a thumb rest. But I noticed that this thumb rest, compared to the ones I'm used to using, is a little bit further up to the tip of the hook. And it's causing a little bit of discomfort. I'm not sure if I'm just not used to it yet because I've crocheted so much with the other hooks, or, you know, hooks are such a personal preference. So going along with that, and I have told you before, I love my likey hooks, the driftwood hooks, very nice, but those are completely round and they don't have a thumb grasp at all, and I find that I tend to roll them around and then my hook ends up in the wrong spot. So I'm not using those quite as often, but I decided I wanted to treat myself because why not? I wanted to get a Furls hook. Now, Furls hooks, in my opinion, are pricey, but I wanted to try one. So I ordered a 5mm. This is a Furls Streamline Swirls hook in the color Cafe, and it is beautiful. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous resin hook. Now, this was, I think, $28.95 on Amazon. All the stuff I just showed you I got on Amazon, except for the lion bags, of course. And I have to say there's a learning curve to these. I don't hold my hook. I am a crocheter. So initially, when I started working with this, I was so excited to get it, got it out of the box, wanted to start working with it right away, and I started working with it. I hated it. I thought, great, Angie, you just wasted $30 on something that you're never going to use. And I was a little bit disappointed with myself. I was watching a video last night. I was watching Blue Eyed Style, and she was doing a hook comparison video. And she started talking about her Furls hooks. So I thought, you know, and that was about the time that my Susan Bates hook was starting to bother my thumb a lot. And I thought, you know, I'm going to give that another try. So I grabbed it and I started working with it, and I love it now. I don't know. I don't know if I just wasn't holding it correctly the first time or what, but I crocheted with this thing for hours and hours last night, and I absolutely love it. Everything about it is perfect, with one slight exception. I almost wish it wasn't so heavy. I feel like because it's resin, it is a little bit on the heavy side. So they have a wood version of this, and I'm going to go ahead, and I've got it in my shopping cart on Amazon right now, and I'm going to go ahead and give that a try and see if it's any lighter. It's not cumbersome. It's not so big that it's so heavy that it's cumbersome, but I could see maybe after a long time of extended use, there might be a little bit of arm fatigue from having something a little bit heavier. So I just thought, you know, I'd give a try to the wooden one and see what I think of it. I'll get it in a different size, of course, and see what I think, because, yeah, I love it. Of course I do, because it's expensive, right? Yeah, of course I do, because that's how I roll. That is how I roll. All right, let me set that carefully over there so I don't lose it. Now, yarn-related new acquisitions. So I ordered one more thing from Lion Brand. And this was something that I had seen Crystal unbox on Bag-A-Day Crochet, and I thought it looked so interesting and so cute. So I decided I wanted to get it, and that is this handbag. Isn't that just adorable? I love it. Comes with all the hardware, and it is a plastic canvas handbag. So love the fact that the plastic canvas comes already shaped. This is really nice. So it folds like this and like this, and then you sew it together, and then you have the clasp that's going to go on the outside. So it'll be like this, and then it comes with the chain as well. It comes with this yarn DIY Den craft kit, which is a Lion Brand yarn, obviously, and it's like it's a velvet. Very pretty color. I think I got the color Ruby, I think it's called. Where does it say? Yes, Ruby. So I got the color Ruby. It was available in several colors, and these are on clearance right now for $9.99, which I thought was a pretty good deal. And even if you wanted to just use the hardware from it to make your own purse, that would be something, that would be, I think that would still be a decent deal, because the hardware for it is really nice too. Let me get it out of there and show you. It'll just take a second. You guys have a second, right? You guys are just crafting. Really heavy duty hardware. If I could get into it, because I want to show it to you. So it's a really nice gold chain with clips on both ends for the handle. Really nice and long. And then it also comes with both sides of the buckle that goes in as well. So yeah, I thought that this was, I thought it was a pretty good deal. And I have to admit to you that I'm a bit intimidated by it. I started looking at it. I was like, well, I can whip that up in no time. That'll be fun. That'll be easy. Yada, yada, yada. Yeah, no, not so much. It's a little bit more than I thought I was going to get myself into. You're doing a pattern that goes in 2 different directions. You can see that from the picture. And you have to obviously count. There's a lot of counting involved, and there's a lot of curved lines. So you got to make sure that you're not, like, for example, going into those really narrow, you have to put the right stitch into those narrow gauged lines, or otherwise it's not going to end up looking right. It's gonna be a project that's going to require some concentration and patience on my part, and I guess I just wasn't in that mindset when I sat down with it. Now I have something that I am sorry, but I opened. It came last Tuesday after I finished recording my yarn video, and I thought there's no way in hell that I can wait until another week to open this. So I opened it and I worked it up. And it is my second Annie's Kit Club. I showed you guys last week my first Annie's Kit Club that I got, which is the squares. It's going to be a Afghan with squares. This one is called the Floral Paradise Mandala Afghan, and that is what it is going to look like. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? I am so excited about this project. I'm usually not a fan of girly girl colors like this, but I don't know, something about this Afghan just really drew me to it, and I decided that I needed it. So the first part of the kit, you got rounds 1 through 18, and I worked them up, and look at all the yarn I had left. So this was the yarn that came with it. It is the Premier Anti-Pilling Everyday Worsted 100% acrylic yarn, size 4. Now, forgive me, if you know me, you know that I hate weaving in tails, and you know that I got a guy for that. But I haven't had my guy weave in my tails yet. So I've still got some tails showing, and yes, they are showing on the front. No, they're not. My bad. Ha! I do have tails hanging. I got one tail showing on the front. But this is what I've got so far. So this was rounds 1 through 18. So pretty, isn't it? Yes, so pretty. Loving it. Loving it. Having a blast doing it. I'm a little bit disappointed that I did all 18 rounds so quickly. I think I did them all in the first day. Now this is going to have to get blocked because it is a little bit cupped. Or maybe it's going to work itself out once I get the other rounds on. But right now it's laying out just a little bit cupped. I don't know if that was a problem with my tension or what, but it's, yeah, see how it's cupping a little bit there? Yeah. Oh well, we'll fix it. We'll fix it. Don't worry. But it had so many different stitches in it. It really pretty. I think it just turned out really, really pretty. And we'll show you again a close up of all the different stitches. So pretty. Love it, love it, love it. But yeah, I regret doing all 18 rounds of it right when I got it, because now I've got to wait a whole month before I get the next part of the kit. So that's one of the things about the kit clubs is if you're a fast crocheter, you have to wait a whole month before you can get the next installment. So that's a little bit of a bummer for me, but I'll get over it. So let me set that over there with my projects. And the last but not least thing that I have to show you that is a new acquisition is my February Knitcrate Box. Yay! Super excited to see what's in here. So this did come, I think, last Wednesday, and I have resisted. I just cut the tape to open it, so I haven't opened it yet. I've resisted. I've been good. I can't believe that I did it, but I resisted. Okay, let's see what we've got in this month's box. So this month's box says, land and sea, there's magic between these great lichen and moss-coated trees. Follow the path to the hidden getaway deep in the forest. Knitcrate. So these show you your patterns. And ooh, I will definitely be making that. That's the pattern. I'll obviously be doing the crochet version, which is the, well, you can read, it says crochet. But isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful. So let's see the yarn. Let's see the yarn. Oh my heavens. Look at that. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. It's a little, I don't want to say it's picky, but it's not picky. I mean, you can definitely wear it up against your skin, but it's not super, super soft. So what this is Vitellana Ascendance in the color Fatigue Green. It's 100% Peruvian Highland wool. Well, no wonder it's not the soft, it's 100% wool. It is a sport weight, really. I don't know that I would call that a sport weight. 328 yards. So you do get a generous amount of yardage, of course, if it's sport weight, you know, but still, that's a big hank. And I got 2 of them. So, yeah, but look at how pretty that is. It's a chain spun yarn, which I really, really enjoy chain spun yarns. Let me see, there, that's a little bit better. I enjoy chain spun yarns. I think they're very nice. They're easy to work with, but I wouldn't say that's a sport weight. I'd call that a heavy 3 to a light 4. It's nice. It's a nice weight. Very nice. And then also, as your little goodie that came in there is this Catrinkles. I don't know. Catrinkles buttons and tools are lovingly designed, expertly crafted, and hand finished in our Rhode Island studio. Can anybody tell me what that is? I mean, I know it's a sheep, but what is that thing in it? What is this to be used for? Is this supposed to be a fastener of some sort? Is it a darning needle? What is it? Somebody tell me what this is, because I'm not sure. It's cute, it's pretty, but I'm not sure what it is to be used for. Huh. Hopefully somebody here will know, and you will let me know, because you learn something new every day, right? Right. Okay, so that is the end of my acquisitions for this week. Next week, like I said, I hope to have lots of acquisitions from my trip to the store on Thursday. It's called Michigan Fine Yarns is the name of the yarn store that we're going to be going to down in Livonia, Michigan. So I'm excited about that. Okay, projects. What have I got going? What did I finish? So I've got one finish for the week, and that is this scarf. Check it out. Woo! I am calling this Angie's Amazing Technicolor Dream Scarf. Yes. It is made with tipped scales, and the back side is just as pretty as the front side, which makes this stitch perfect for a scarf because there's no bad or good side. They're both the same. And the yarn that I use for this is one of my ice yarns. And this is called Vivid Wool. In the color, it's not going to tell me the color on here. It's on the pack. I apologize. But this is a 4-weight yarn, 60% wool, 40% acrylic, and there are 80 meters, so like 90 yards in a ball. And I love the color variations. It's busy. It's very, very busy. And I'm not a colorful person. If you know me, you know that I like earth tones and stuff like this. But I just thought it'd be fun, you know. I thought it'd be something fun to do. So yeah, I did this scarf, and it's even though it's 60-40 wool or wool acrylic, it's nice and soft. It's not hard at all, and I think it's just really cute. I think it's gonna, now it is a little bit wide. I did make this a little bit wider of a scarf. If I had it to do over again, I might have made it a little thinner, you know, a little narrower, maybe by a couple stitches. I think would have been perfect. But, you know, you live and learn, right? Right. So I don't know what I'm going to, I mean, I'm not going to keep this because this just isn't, you know, I don't wear big bright colors like this, but somebody's going to love it. I don't know who yet. A lot of times I make things without a destination in mind. So this is not the only project that I did with this yarn this week. I also, but I'm not quite finished with the second project with this yarn. But I'm coming along though. I'm coming along. Where should I put this? I put it right down here. The second thing that I'm making with that same yarn, because I bought a ton of it, is this poncho. And this I am loving. This I am absolutely loving, and I think that I am going to keep this one for myself because I think that I will definitely wear this. This is going to be perfect for, you know, in Michigan, our springs are, you want to feel like it's springtime, but the weather still says it's winter. So I think that the bright colors of this are going to scream spring, but the wool content in the stitch is kind of, it's not a closed stitch, but it's not lacy either. I think that it's going to be warm. It's still going to be fairly warm, so you'll be able to wear it in the early spring and, you know, still have that spring colors going on, but also be able to stay warm. So I think I'll keep this poncho for myself. Now, I am looking for another poncho pattern. I'd like to make a poncho that has sleeves. You know what I mean? Where the sleeves kind of are connected down there. So if anybody has any suggestions, if you know of a pattern for a poncho with sleeves, let me know. I'd like to know. So I'm really enjoying working with this yarn. I will definitely be ordering more of this yarn. They have it in, I think, like 15 or 20 different colorways, and I really like it. So again, that's Vivid Wool from Ice Yarns. And I'm not associated or anything with Ice Yarn. I'm not associated with anybody. I'm associated with myself. So that was that. Now, my second project that I'm working on with Ice Yarn is I've started this 3 times with 3 different patterns. And I'm still not sure that I am loving it. So I want you guys to tell me what you think. This is the start of the back panel of what's going to be a cardigan with this stitch. And I want you to tell me what you think of it. Do you think it's too open of a stitch for this yarn? This is a roving style yarn, and it really does, it's at times in places it's nice and thick and has this nice halo on it, but then in other places it gets very thin and is almost string-like. So I'm a little bit iffy on whether or not the stitch definition is really there with this particular stitch for this yarn. Like I said, this is the 3rd pattern I've tried with this yarn, and I haven't been quite satisfied yet. And I'm not sure that I'm satisfied with this. I don't know. I think from a distance it's going to look fine. I mean, you're definitely going to have to wear something under it, but with a cardigan you are anyway. But this yarn is Ice Yarns, what is this called? Cakes Alpaca Colors. And it is a medium 4-weight yarn. It is 20% alpaca, 50% wool, 30% acrylic in the color Camel. Yeah, Camel. Beautiful yarn, really nice yarn, really nice and soft. You know, Ice Yarns always has that, not always, I shouldn't say always because that was my first order, but all of my Ice Yarn has like an industrial smell, like a factory smell. I don't know, it's weird. It's not a bad smell, and it'll go away, but yeah, what do you guys think? What do you think of this stitch pattern for a sweater with this yarn? I'd love to hear your comments. Love to hear your opinions. Should I frog it and start over? I don't know. I don't know. But that's what I've got going on with that. Set that over on the windowsill. Neighbors will love that. Okay, now moving on to another project that I need you guys' opinion on. I have a friend, and I would like to make my friend a blanket. And I have been, excuse me, I need to get up and lean over here and grab this yarn. It's out of reach. I had too much stuff on my table. Okay, better. I asked her what her colors would be, what colors she would like, and she wanted sage and cream. All right. So I had some yarn, and the colors on the actual, and then she has dark brown as a contrast color in her home. The color on the yarn itself says sage. Does that look like sage to you? I feel like it's too light. I feel like it looks a little minty. Not sure. This is the Big Twist Value yarn from Joanne. So there's sage and cream. And then I picked this brown, which is called taupe. So I chose those three colors. And I started a granny square Afghan. I've gotten quite a bit done on this, so I'm not, even if she doesn't like this yarn, I am not going to abandon this project. I will simply sell it or give it to someone else. But I've got 3 strips done, and it is called the Starry Night Afghan. And I did a single crochet join going in the back loops and front loops only, so you get that nice ridge appearance between the squares. You can really delineate square for square. Now you don't have to do it that way. I mean, you can join in any number of ways, but I thought that this looked really cool because it gave that that definition in between the squares, and I liked that look for this particular Afghan. So I've gotten 3 strips done that are 5 squares wide. So 15 squares, that's not bad. It takes me about 45 minutes per square, so that kind of tells you what kind of hours I've got into it. I've also woven all of my tails except for my ending and joining tails. So I did a really good job. I'm really proud of myself that I took care of my tails as I was going, rather than waiting until the end and having a big old nightmare mess. But I got a guy for my tails, but still I wanted to be a little bit respectful. So what do you guys think? What do you think of these colors? Do you think that that's sage, cream, and brown? What do you think of those colors? Okay, second one that I started for her, I'm only half a square in, but I just wanted to see the combination of colors together. And that is this one. Now this is a deeper, obviously it's a different granny square. It's a deeper brown and a darker sage and then a forest green. I don't care for this dark forest on here. I think I would omit that. But what do you think of this green? And I'm going to show you 2 colors of green, and I want to know what you think is a more sagey color. Do you think the lighter one or the darker one is more sagey? And then also, I paired it with less of a cream and more of an off-white. Or what about this? What if I used all 3 of these colors? I mean, because this is a 4-color granny square. What if I used those 4 colors and omitted this dark color? That's an idea. That is an idea. Yeah, what do you guys think of that? So this is using Impeccable yarn from Michaels. Not a huge fan of it. I mean, it's okay. It's soft enough. It's softish. What do you think? Which square do you like better? Well, this isn't a full square. It'll turn into a square at some point. I kind of like this square better for her. It's a little bit more ornate, a little bit prettier. This square is going to be more utilitarian as far as warmth goes, just because of the way that it's stitched. But, I mean, look at the color differences. This is definitely more of a minty green, I think. That's my opinion. You can tell me. Tell me what you think in the comments. I would love to hear everybody's opinion. It's really hard to do this, and especially to do something for someone and to kind of try to respect their, you know, preferences, but then not really know, you know what I mean? So it's tough. It's tough. I think I'll work up, so I'll show you next week. I'll work one of these squares up, and I'll work it up completely with the dark green omitted and with the other two greens in there, and see what you guys think of that. But I would appreciate your opinions nonetheless. All right, this is not too long today, which is good. I won't keep you here all day. The last thing I have to talk to you about is a crochet fail. I have a crochet fail. And yeah. So my friend Sue asked me if I would make her a hat and mitts. And I said, sure. And I asked her what color she wanted, and she said green. And I thought immediately of this Lion Brand Hometown yarn in the color Riverdale Tweed, which is this gorgeous, gorgeous green tweed. It's really, really pretty. It's a nice, nice soft yarn, really nice soft yarn. And I have made a hat out of this, and it turned out phenomenal. I loved it. So I whipped up the hat, no problem. Beautiful, it's perfect. So I start on the mitts. I don't have the thumb in there yet. But it's like a macrame mitt. It is so stiff. And then look at the... Oh, yeah. So, does anybody have any suggestions for a nice, soft, 5-weight yarn that I could use for these mitts? Because I know I intentionally made this cuff long. That's intentional. So, you know, if you're thinking, wow, that's really, you know, long, but I did that on purpose. But yeah. So Sue, it's going to be a minute because I had a fail. I had a crochet fail. It's just too stiff. For mitts, this yarn. It's just too bulky, too stiff. It's just not going to work. You never know until you try, right? Right. All right, folks, that's what I've got for you today. I appreciate you tuning in and sticking with me and listening to my shenanigans. And I would appreciate your advice and any other comments or questions that you might have. So thanks a lot for tuning in, and I will see you next time. All right. Bye, guys. But wait, I forgot to finish. I don't know how I could have forgotten this because I love it and I'm so proud of it. I made also out of ice yarns, and I don't have the tag in here to show you what it was, but I'll put it in the description. I'll put in the description what yarn this was because I'd highly recommend this yarn if you want to make a bag. This is a handbag that I made. Isn't it cute? Love it. Love it. Now I did do this on purpose. I made it so that it would be a little bit, it would stretch out a little bit. You know what I mean? So I put those puckers in there on purpose. It's a really, really pretty yarn. It's a 2-strand yarn, and one of the strands, the black strand, actually has sequins in it. And it's just perfect for a bag. It's just perfect for a bag. So I kind of Frankensteined a pattern on this. I kind of took pieces and parts from a couple of different patterns and made this. I'm going to come up with something to do for a little clasp in the center so that I can clasp it shut. I think maybe I'll just get a snap so I can snap it shut there. But cute, right? Yeah. Love it. Okay, that's all. Like I said, I will put the name of this yarn in the description if you're interested in this yarn. Cute. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.